Hello, crafty friends. So, this video is, I'm going to walk you through the process video for Craft Roulette episode 165. My name is Sherry Pemberton. This is my 110th consecutive contribution to Craft Roulette, which means for the last 110 weeks, I have created a card, which is kind of surprising for me and exciting all in one. So Craft Roulette. Craft Roulette it comes on almost every Friday night, 6:30 Central, live on YouTube. It is the Ultimate Improv Card Making Challenge, and it is brought to us by Mary Gun Fun and Mr. Producer. And this week's parameters were card with flaps, winter colors, children's story, and tiles. And so I went looking and tried to figure out, when I first heard children's story, I was like, oh no. And then, somebody suggested animals, and I was like, bears. And of course, I'm a librarian. So my thought was, come on, Sherry, you have tons and tons of books that you could, do something from. So mine is going to come from their books by Karma Wilson, and most of them, this series is on bears, and Bear's New Friend, I believe, is the one that I took this from. So, but before we get started, I want to tell Mary and Mr. Producer, thank you so much. I received this a couple weeks ago. I'm just now letting you know. I was so excited to get it because I have to tell you, I had been very reluctant to buy anything gnome. And when it was on the wheel, I was dreading it because I don't like gnomes. I'm sorry. Gnomes are just not my thing. And I really did not want to buy a stamp or anything with a gnome. So I was so excited when I got this in the mail, and I was like, there's a gnome. So if it's ever on the wheel, there it is. I think I can handle everything else except for gnomes. So this is the Craft Roulette stamp set that you can get through, if you go to Craft Roulette Live, there is going to be a link. I will attach that to my, at the end of my video on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, I ask that you like and subscribe to my channel. I try to bring a new video every week. If it's not Craft Roulette, it is Stampin' Up related because I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. All right, so on to my card. So, flaps. I wanted to do something fun. So I found this fun flap, hidden flap card. I found it on YouTube from Purple Girl Crafts, and I will also link her YouTube channel in my description at the end. But so it opens up like this, and I kind of have a piece of tape to help hold it down right now. And then it opens up like this. So there are my flaps, all right? So flat card with flaps. My winter colors are blue and gray. My children's story is Karma Wilson, her Bear series, and Bear's New Friend, Bear Meets an Owl. So I put an owl, and I got that. I used the Wildlife Wonder stamp set from Stampin' Up to create this card. And then my Happy Father's Day, I used the Gone Fishing. It's a new set from Stampin' Up that recently came out. I used the Happy Father's Day from that. And then to cut out my square, I used the die from Stylish Shape Dies. I used this square right here. All right. So I'm going to show you how I put this card together. Oh, and my tiles are in the corner. And you know what? I forgot to cut them for the next card, but that's all right. So, we're going to start out. I want to make sure. Okay. Put that one off. So, we're going to start out. We're going to glue this big piece. And this piece is, so your card, when you cut out your card, it is 7 by 7.5. And then you score at the 5-inch mark. All right. And then this piece is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And I am just going to put some glue on there. And then we're going to center that here. Okay. Then you are going to need 2 pieces. One that is actually 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. You actually need 2 pieces because you're going to put one here and you're going to put one here. All right. So 2 3/4 or 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. And I'm going to put the stripes here. Okay. And then I'm going to put it's like a wood grain pattern. At first I was like, ooh, denim, but it's more wood grain. And I'm going to put that piece here on the outside. Okay. All right. Next, you will need a piece that is 10 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then you would score at 2, 3, 5 1/2, and 8. So 10 1/2 by 3 1/2, and then you score at 2, 3, 5 1/2, and 8. Then, if you don't want to eyeball on where to put this piece, this is going to be this piece with the smaller, because it's the smaller, except for this piece, of these 3. It needs to go, it's gonna need to go like this, okay? It needs to be centered. And if you don't want to eyeball it, what I did is I took my ruler, and she did this in the Purple Girl Crafts video, and you measure to the 3 1/2 mark, and then you can mark that with a pencil. Okay, and then on this piece I took and you measure to 1 3/4, and I did it on the flap so that I won't have to worry about erasing it. Okay, so then I lined that up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue now, if I can get it to come out. I'm just gonna get my finger out of the way and push that down. Okay. And that makes it centered. All right. All right. So before we move on, I have cut out. These are going to be our layers, And this piece is 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. And then I have a piece of DSP that is 1 1/2 by 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Moving on. Okay. And then I will put my DSP, which is 1 1/2 by 3. All right, let that sit a minute. So then next we're going to do what she called a mountain, and I've heard it before, mountain and valley fold. So you want mountain, valley, mountain, I think is how it goes. But what you want to do right now is you're going to set, and you want this, you want it to be like this, mountain, valley, okay? And you want to lay this down, and you want it to lay flat out, all right? Then you are going to open up your card, and you want to glue this piece right here, all right? And then we're just going to take our big piece here and bring it across and lay it down. Okay? And there's where we're at. All right? So that's glued down. Oops. Nope. All right, that's just like that. Okay, so before we move on any farther, we're going to put these cardstock in this piece of DSP. And this has to be 3 1/4 by 3/4 is your cardstock. Or you could use another type of DSP so it's kind of thinner and not so thick. I just chose to go with the cardstock. I think it just looks nicer. We're going to go ahead and put that. Try to kind of line that one up with this. Okay, and then your DSP is going to be 3 by 1/2 inch. 3 inches by 1/2. Okay, then next you have 4 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. So you need 4 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 3 1/4, and each one of them are going to go in these spots, and then also right here on the outside. All right. Then you would need 4 pieces of DSP, designer series paper, or any cardstock or paper you want, 2 by 3. So 4 of these 2 by 3. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue all those down. Go ahead and do a couple at a time. All right. Okay, now I'll do my paper. try to line it up for the most part with this piece here. Kind of want to make them look the same all the way across. Alright. Okay. So there we are so far. And yes, it is going to be a little thick. Again, though, if you don't want it to be that thick, you could use more designer series paper behind this. Again, I just like that look. Alright, so on my bear, I kind of wanted him to be as much as possible as I could on the front, which, you know, he's not stuck right there. So I kind of just put my glue right at the back foot. Well, not the complete, right here on my bear. And I fussy cut my bear and my owl, because there's not a die that goes with this. So, which I don't mind fussy cutting, like, it's kind of relaxing to me. I know that when I first started crafting, I really wasn't fond of it, but now it's like, I find it, like I said, I find it relaxing to sit and cut. So, alright, make sure he doesn't stick. Oops, see, got a little glue right there. That's alright. Okay. So, let's see, I'm going to try to wipe off that little bit of glue there. Okay. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and put my Happy Father's Day. I have already went ahead and stamped it. One less thing I didn't want y'all have to watch me do. Kind of center that up. Because Father's Day will be here before we know it. I think it's the 3rd Thursday in June this year. So, and then I just put my little owl there. And then again, I said I forgot to cut out my tiles. So what I will do later is I will cut out the four tiles. I did those 1 by 1 inch. And what I will do is I will cut them out, because I did these with the blue wood grain. I'm going to cut these out with the gray stripes. Alright. And there's my card. All done for Craft Roulette episode 165. I cannot wait to see what everyone else creates. I hope you have a good rest of your Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you all next week. Have a great evening. Bye.